Accountability, the book will change your life. A book by Nancy Theory. Get it today from africanbooks.com and amazon.co.uk.
Hello, my name is Lindy Sherries and I used to be a Sangoma. In this channel, I talk about everything, guys. Abokorobela, the secrets that we were taught not to share with you guys, how we used to trick you guys, the spirits, how everything works when you go to a Sangoma for a consultation, Yamatambo. So whether you believe in God or don't believe in God, please check out this channel so we can talk about it. If you believe in God, let's share the gospel. If you don't believe in God, you can check out the channel too. I want to hear your opinion and I want people to actually share their opinion, not insulting me without saying why. Thank you, and I'll see you on my channel.
And thank you for joining me on my channel. I'm Uncle Solomon. Welcome to Solomon's Temple, where we get to look at Christian issues and investigate, analyze, and also try to educate ourselves. So I want to thank each and every one of you who's joining me right now. I'm live from Johannesburg, South Africa. Please make sure you subscribe to Solomon's Temple. That is the YouTube channel you're watching right now, in case you haven't subscribed yet. There are great videos you can watch. Please watch the videos, share the videos, and make sure other people have access to it. And also, I'm involved in private coaching regarding YouTube. So I'll coach you on how to use YouTube effectively, whether you have a YouTube channel already or you don't have a YouTube channel yet. I will help you through it, see how you can make great content that would be enticing, that can influence people, that can convince people to subscribe, to watch, and also hopefully for you to make money from. So please call me on +27 82 212 9438, +27 82 212 9438. Send me a WhatsApp message so we can have a conversation. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you everyone who's watching. Brother Chris, thank you for joining me. And then we have Selo, who's hello, Uncle Solomon. One will be preaching for us. When I go, it's a time for that. You know, this platform is so different. Greetings from New Zealand. Awesome. Kia Ora, good to have you here. Doreen, also good to have you here. Gabriel, Etada, good to have you here, and good to have each and every one of you watching. So there's a fresh news out of the nation of Tanzania, up in East Africa, about this church. Sometimes when certain actions happen in a so-called church, you wouldn't call it a church anymore, isn't it? You probably call it a cult, because that's what it is, a cult, right? So this church and the pastors were detained by the Tanzanian police because they detained sick people who were sick. They convinced them they were going to heal them, but the nature in which they detained them and kept them there is just so alarming. So here's the story, right? Tanzanian authorities have arrested 2 church leaders for allegedly detaining dozens of sick people. So we're talking about 20 people, 30 people, or whatever. They detained them while these sick people, while promising to heal them through prayer and traditional herbs. So when you detain somebody, it means you force them to stay against their will. So we must understand detain now. The word detain. You detain means you captured me. You're keeping me against my will. The more than 100 people were being kept in so-called traditional wards. So they actually have traditional wards, which are mud walled huts with brick beds. Can you imagine? Built around the church in Nyamhinza village, Misungwi district in the northwestern region of Mwanza, with no medical treatment or food provided for them. Isn't this serious? You promise that you are going to heal them through prayer and traditional herbs. Do I believe that prayer heals people? Yes, I totally am a big believer of that. Do I believe that traditional herbs that God has given us through plants and trees heal people? I believe that totally. But you see, when you now put people there and you don't take care of them, you neither provide any sort of medical treatment, or you don't provide any sort of food for them. If I don't eat to stay alive, to stay strong, how are you going to heal me? And you put them in a very, very awkward condition in this mud, they call it traditional ward. So it has become almost like a hospital. Let me show you a picture. This is like a picture of actually the kind of place they put them in. Yes, I understand it's a village. And obviously, a lot of African villages, this is the kind of accommodation that you do have. Matter of fact, when I was growing up, a lot of part of my family, when I go to the village, they live in huts like this, and even they sleep in like mud beds. But when you keep people against their will without really taking care of their welfare, that's the problem. And a lot of churches do that. They keep people against their will, or even manipulate people. People thinking, no, stay here. TB Joshua did a lot of that. No, come to the synagogue in Lagos, Nigeria. We would pray for you, and God will prophesy, and then you would be healed. And people will fly from Sweden, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia. They go down there, and they'll wait for a week. They'll wait for 2 weeks. Do you know how many people actually died at the synagogue waiting? You can imagine if they were in the hospital, they wouldn't have died, because they went to a place where medically you cannot be taken care of. The church cannot take care of you medically. Yes, I know there are a lot of churches that have hospitals and clinics. Great, which is good. But don't go to a church, thinking your medical needs will be taken care of. Hospital is where they take care of your medical needs. Yeah, God can heal you again, but make sure medically you are sorted whilst you go. Make sure you're not at risk when you go to church to be prayed for. So the story continues. It says some of these people have been there for up to a month, and they were required to find food for themselves until they fully recover. How can sick people find food for themselves? They were found after locals alerted the police that some people were dying after leaving hospitals, including a woman who had joined the church soon after giving birth to twins. At the end of last week, the police took the sick people back to hospitals for treatment. They are now investigating possible deaths, whether there are bodies buried nearby. The same thing happened in Uganda recently, isn't it? And you don't tell people the truth. Mwanza Regional Police Commander Wilbrot Matafungwa told journalists on Wednesday that initial investigation didn't show that there were people buried there, but they were still keeping a close watch. He confirmed the arrest of the suspects, church leaders William Masum and his wife Kabula Mashika, saying they didn't have permits to conduct worship and prayer activities or to provide traditional healing services. They have not commented on these accusations. So they actually don't even have the permit to run a church, to conduct worship, and to pray for people, or to provide any sort of traditional healing services. Do you know how many churches that are operating in Nigeria, in Ghana, in South Africa, Botswana, that are not registered? Some of them are actually registered as a business, as a PTY, or as a limited, or as a company, as a CC, closed corporation company. That's why when their conducts become dodgy, you mustn't be surprised. Because the intention from the beginning was to deceive people. And you can imagine how many people are actually, here they're saying people that are taken from this church who were detained to be healed through prayer and taken to the hospital, they pass on afterwards, including a woman who just gave birth to a twin. People, hospital, it's God's creation. Hospital is not Satan's idea, it's God's idea. Is God's major way of bringing healing and comfort to us. And any pastor, any prophet that would not encourage you to go to the hospital or stay in the hospital. If I need to come and pray for you as a pastor at the hospital, yes, I'm coming to pray. If your condition is very critical, do not leave the hospital. Stay there. Doctors are God's agents. No matter their faith, no matter their religion, God loves everybody and He's given everybody a talent, a skill to make the world a better place. So you can imagine a Christian saying, no, I'm not going to go to that doctor because he's Muslim or because he's Scientologist. No, guys. He's not going to heal you or give you a medication or treatment based on his faith. He's giving you based on his training, 7 years or 8 years of medical training as a doctor. We must stay away from these churches that are masquerading as these cults that are masquerading as churches. Matter of fact, I wish many other nations and countries will take the route of Rwanda, where you close down churches that are just not churches, and you put requirements. If you want to run a church, you need to be able to go and get training. You need to be able to register. There are certain requirements that you should meet before you are able to run a church, before you're able to become a pastor. Not just everybody waking up in the morning and saying, wow, God has called me to be this. It happens, but please get some training so you can obey the constitution of the land. You can treat people as humans, and you're not going to go into it because you want to make money. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. God bless you. I'll see you again in a bit.